Hey guys, so I'm a little bit serious today. I went to this thing at school and it was a suicide prevention awareness day, and I'm really glad that I went. They had a bunch of posters set up about statistics on suicide and bullying and uh, just suicides in college, and it was a lot to handle. And there was particularly one poster that really caught my eye, and it says "Gone but never forgotten," and it had sticky notes. People wrote on the sticky notes, like people that had committed suicide, and they wrote a little note about how much they missed them or loved them or whatever, and they put this on the poster board, and there was a good bunch, and it's scary to think about, and it's it really saddens me, and suicide is just so serious, and I hate when people joke about it because, I suffer from severe depression. I know it may not seem it, but, you know, it's scary. But so I went there and they had a couple presentations. They had this girl do interpretive dance, and it was just so beautiful. I mean, I was crying. The people in the audience were crying. I've never really taken interpretive dance seriously, but the way the girl portrayed it was just amazing. So then after that, they had a panel of speakers. They had two speakers. One other speaker, she couldn't make it because she was going through some type of crisis, and I hope that she's okay and everything. But one of the panels was a woman. She worked at the Samaritans in New Hampshire, and she talked about her experience with suicide and that her best friend um, happened to do it, and no one told her about it, and it's awful. And she was talking about how her line of work, that it's really hard to get volunteers because, I mean, it's depressing, and it really saddens my heart. But then there was another guy who spoke, who was a leader of the group. The normal psych students did this whole presentation, so he was the leader of the group, and his brother actually committed suicide, and it was really hard to watch. And I mean, I was crying. It was very tear-jerking. It was very emotional. And to any of you out there who are thinking about committing suicide, don't do it. You have so much to live for. And there was a quote that he said, that suicide is a forever solution to a temporary problem, something along those lines. And temporary problem was just the big key. I mean, whatever you're going through, you're gonna make it through it, and there's people out there to help you. And I know it's hard to feel that there's no hope, but there is hope, and there is people out there willing to help you. But I'm sorry to be really serious on you, but I do take suicide very seriously, and it's hard. It really is. I mean, depression runs in my family, and I mean, I have severe depression, and that's not easy to deal with. And I've had an uncle who committed suicide, and my mother and her brother and her sister and her mother, it's hard. We all miss him. I never got the chance to meet him, and I really wish I did. But sadly, he took his own life, and I really wish he hadn't, but I don't know all the details about it. Suicide's always been a hush-hush thing, and I don't feel like it should be that way anymore. But I guess that when people talk about suicide in the newspapers, it's triggers a reaction to either prevent suicide or gives kids an options to think about, and it's really awful. And like I've said probably 5 times already, it's just hard. But there are people out there that love you. Please don't think about taking your own life. There's always people out there. But with saying that, sorry again for being so serious, but it's heart-wrenching. And to hear the stories that I was told, apparently in Keene State, there was a suicide pact, and a guy committed suicide because he was in a relationship and he was having a really hard time and he broke up, and then like a week later his best friend killed himself also. And apparently about 50 students, 50 seniors couldn't graduate because of the grief they had for those two kids, because they were like immediately affected by them. And it's sad, and no one should ever feel like they should take their own life. There's so much to live for. There really is. I mean, it's really sad, but like I said, there's a lot of help you can get. You can go to the Samaritans website. You can call toll free and things like that. Or, you know, the number one thing with preventing suicide is communication. And if you see someone who's acting different and they're acting sad or depressed, I mean, don't go directly up to them and be like, hey, are you feeling suicidal? I mean, you need to talk to that person. And I know some people, we know that carry a lot of baggage and things like that, but you never know. Maybe that next time he says he's going to kill himself, he might actually do it, or she might actually do it. So you need to communicate, even though you may not want to. I mean, it could save a life. It really could. So reach out to someone that you know is acting different, because you never know. Alright, well, I guess that's enough serious business for today, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.